Come one, come all to the next episode of Vinyl Stallions. All right, and today's guest is Daniel Norton, also known as Danny NoNo. He is the owner of Big Eleanor Records, also a musician himself, plays in several different bands, several different projects, and we are pumped to have him on this episode of Sit Down with the Stallions.
Hell yeah. Again, thank you guys. I said it already off air. I can say it on air. I appreciate you guys spending your Wednesday evening with me. It definitely means a lot. It does.
We could say the same,
Yeah.
like that. People being willing to take their time is what enables us to do these interviews.
It's all love then. It's all love. Let's have some fun with it then.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Danny, let's go, man. I'm very excited to just kind of dive into your history of music.
Yeah.
So like Club said, and as we can see from your background, you got that drum kit ready to roll. Dude, just walk us through, man. Just kind of your music life history. I'd love to hear like where this all started.
Yeah. So yeah, right now you're listening to Danny NoNo, Big Eleanor Records. Brainstormer extraordinaire. I do, take time and play the drums. My goal is not to finish as a drummer, but my musical background has led me on the drum set up to this point. Fortunately enough, at a young age, my parents let me, own a drum set and let me kind of partake in creative outlets in that way. And then come, high school, I met with a couple like-minded people, and I've always looked at people like the Ramones. And then if you look at people like on the other side, like Rush and people like that, like all these people that I've always had respect for they're doers. They're do-it-yourself people. They're doers. Like if you look at the amount of shows played, if you look at the approaches, it's all like, so to me, just doing it yourself, putting shows together, being in a dusty approach has always been the mindset. So, in high school, I was even a part of working with people, being in a band, putting together shows, just kind of being behind the scenes. So from, early high school, I was, quote unquote punk drumming in, show ready ideas and show ready, material. And then it just, led me down, a couple years. Now we're, 10 or so plus years removed from that. And I just live in a situation where I can have a drum set, have people over and just play as much as I want. So I have fun with the creative output. I'm still doing it, but yeah, just at a young age, I was able to just jump behind a drum set and have fun with it. And I just never stop. Nothing's better than the drums. It's the first instrument, so we can get technical about it. But like, what's better than being able to never be quiet? You know what I mean? Like there's nothing better than that. So I just always gravitated towards the drum set. Like
Cause
that's
a
me,
ruckus.
my nature. So yeah, just high school, just playing drums and just punk banding it up, playing in basements, putting together my own shows and carrying that throughout my career to where now I am 10 years into doing that, with 10 years experience of that behind the sceneness. Yeah, thank you for asking.
Yeah. So would you say like punk rock then is sort of your favorite type of music just to play, listen to, whatever?
Yeah, I would say so, just because at the end of the day, that's like where I'm gravitated towards, like kind of like them subgenres of punk rock. But if you took away like given ability and just my enthusiasm towards a certain genre, right now I exist in that underground hip hop scene. So underground
right
hip hop is
on.
what excites me the most. But as far as my physical ability, I have to, I was given the ability to play the drums, and yeah, that kind of fast energy type of music always, yeah.
Awesome. Dude, I freaking love your energy. I'm just ready to just go
Yeah.
fucking nuts through this screen right now
I appreciate,
because
yeah, dude. I'm
no,
telling you, and to be honest, it's fucking 420 today, so I've been celebrating all day. So this is like celebration
yes,
energy, where it's like
sir.
I've been like doing my thing all day, and I still got this energy. So catch me on a normal Monday or something. Like, I'm telling you, like, I don't turn it off. Like,
I
I'm
love
turning
it.
shit off.
I mean, dude, so you sent us that like an email, kind of just telling us what you did, and right at the end you were just like scrappy. You put it scrappy in there, and that was the
Yes.
word that stuck with me. And because I appreciate that grind, dude, and like the being able, like, you know what? Why can't I just do this shit myself? And I just really love it already, man. But
Yeah.
so when you get into like the producing aspect of it all and wanting to get involved in that.
Yeah. So like I'm more, I like this, like, I like the I don't want to say the business aspect of things, but my joy in life is making the connections, talking to people, meeting new people, creatively piecing just avenues to navigate for. So once I started to be able to apply myself in a public setting, not being too timid, not being afraid to open myself up to others, I immediately realized that my duty is not to finish my musical career behind the drum set. So I a couple years ago, I just started, putting out projects. I would spend time in the studio just watching how everyone worked and just mental note, oh, that, like, and then again, just trial and error to where now I just feel comfortable in all settings just by literally being behind the scenes enough to, yeah. But as far as production, I wouldn't say like production and things like that, but I think more of like manager and like label head and things like that are more becoming more appropriate.
Okay. So so you said you've worked on like 4 different projects. So did you play the drums with like on all 4
Correct.
of those
Yep.
then?
Yeah, I
Okay.
played the drums, but I like to kind of let it be known, like, I'm not just like sitting behind the drum set, like I'm in the middle
Oh,
of the whole process from songwriting to song development to sequencing to like organizing the pictures and what like outfits like or whatever to
yeah.
studio time to just literally like every single aspect of it. And I was doing that before I was in the label. So I was just like, all right, I got this. Let me jump in label status because I already enjoy doing it. Like that's the fun shit to me. Like I enjoy packaging a whole album together more than just behind the drum set. Like if I
Mhm.
was just behind the drum set, I would be there and only tapped in for 10% of the project. You know what I mean? Like when all said and
Yeah.
done, like after the music's done, I'm like I would be nowhere to be found. So it's like I get bored quickly. So it's like as soon as I get done the drum parts, my mind's already like, all right, how do we get the pictures? How do we do this? What do we like? So
Thinking of the next thing.
yeah, just out of boredom, I had to be in the middle of it all.
Yeah, no, you're talking to the right people. I mean, that's why we call the show Vinyl Stallions, is because we like listening to vinyls. Like you're getting like this whole complete piece of work. You got artwork, you got the music, and there's
Exactly.
so much that goes into it.
Exactly. And you can tell if someone takes any aspect of it off. Like if you take the artwork, if you take the track sequencing off, like you can tell, like just if someone takes the time in every little aspect that you can get into, it's noticeable. And yeah, I'm big on vinyl. I'm big on physical forms of art or of music as well. I do collect and get into that type of, yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like looking at it from that side because it is like because what is a good product without packaging? So like if your packaging sucks, it don't matter how quality your product is. So it's like vinyl, CDs, cassette, like that shit will expose you because it's like you're literally holding the packaging, and if it's fucking faulty, if it's lesser quality physically, if it's lesser quality in the approach, like it gets exposed real quick. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I love like the physical aspect of the music. It makes you think about it from all angles too.
Yeah, because it's
Oh,
all on purpose.
absolutely.
It makes you think about it all from all angles. It's not just like you can only just think about the song. You gotta think of it. Then you actually have to think about the art direction, and then you actually break it down. You gotta start pricing things. Yes, yes. I don't want to talk about just like the process of vinyl, right? All night, but yes, I'm right
We
there with you.
could, but we could.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
could. Well, what was the most recent record you bought? Like new? Like I don't want to know about no like old whatever, but what's like the most new vinyl that you just got recently?
Okay, so mine would be, it's a very random record. So it's a band called James Taylor Quartet. They're
Okay.
an acid jazz band from London. So it's honestly hard to find a lot of their stuff in the US. Like this thing was shipped from the UK.
Okay. Word.
But the album's called Rochester, Mass. And so on this album, the band played a bunch of their songs that they already wrote and had with this enormous choir, the Rochester Mass
Oh,
Choir.
word, word. Did it enhance the songs, do you think?
Yeah, and especially like if you already knew what they sounded like before, it
Yeah.
just gave them this whole new dimension.
Yeah, that would be fun to do too. Like putting a choir to your songs. Like imagine writing a song and then hearing a choir behind it. Like that'd be crazy.
And they have a picture with them with the choir on the
Yeah.
inside of it, and there's like 40 people. Like it's ridiculous.
That's what's up. That's a good buy. Sounds like a good buy.
Yeah, it was only like $20, including the shipping from the UK. So I was like, there's no way I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
this.
Dude, that does sound rowdy. I will have to listen to that clip soon. But I've been just going to my old record store. I've been getting some like older ones. But I would say the most recent one that I got that was like from a new band is this band called Goose, and they
Okay.
are a jam band from the East Coast, playing all over the place now. Club and I actually just saw them in Cleveland in like March, I think. So yeah, literally last
Yeah,
month.
first week of March.
Yeah, and but they have a record called Shenanigans Nightclub, and it is literally like a light baby blue and then white tie dye, and it's
Oh,
the
we're
fucking coolest thing just looking at that and seeing it spin. But yeah, I know they're a kick-ass band. Shout out to Goose.
yeah, that's what's up.
How about you?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll have to shout out there's this new record store in Philly that just opened recently, past couple months. It's called Crate Diggers, and it's like the craziest underground hip hop vinyl selection I've ever seen. So I'll shout them out. I got a good bundle from them. To kind of keep it appropriate to the show, or kind of like what you got. I did get the new Wet Leg album, and that's, dude, gold.
They're good.
Every chorus is fucking so good. Like every chorus is so catchy in that album. Like it's crazy. And I bought it just like before hearing the full album, just because I was at the record store doing whatever, and I was like, all right, whatever, let me just get it real quick. And then I listened to whatever later, and I was like, all right, this was a good buy. Like I'm not mad that I own that shit now. So yeah, that's a good record, honestly. Like they definitely wrote some very good songs.
Dude, hell yeah. Now you have me thinking. I completely forgot. I'm just going to say this real quickly because we've mentioned it in the last episode before. But I got a record and Club and I listened to it. It was called Sonic Boom. And it
And
was really, yeah, tell them.
not to interrupt, but this is the perfect example of how album artwork will get you to buy something.
Yeah, it was classified as experimental space rock. And it literally,
Word.
it sounded like alien noises and like crazy, where Klepp and I put it on our record at the wrong speed and did not know it was on the wrong speed till we put in the next I think we had a Zeppelin record next, and we were
Yeah,
like, these sound
physical
like,
graffiti.
it sounds like Elvin and the Chipmunks, like as soon as you put it on, because it's going faster. And I'm like, yeah, Sonic Boom, don't ever listen to it. It doesn't make sense. But dude, I want to get back to you real quick. So we talked about how you were a part of those 4 projects, and like 2 of them seem just rock. 2 of them are a part of that rap that you're kind of describing. Just
Oh,
talk.
I will correct you real quick, just because it's when I say the 4 projects, it's not the rap ones too. There was 2 other rock ones that you might not have, because they weren't under the Big Eleanor. So it was
Oh,
4 drum projects, like
okay.
projects with 4 different songwriters, period, and then it goes over to the rap and shit. So it's add more to the resume. Not saying you were incorrect or anything like that, but I just want
No, yeah.
the
Thank you for
listeners
that
at home.
clarification.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, hell yeah. Well, the ones then that you, those rock ones, then
Yes.
any of them stick out to you as one of the most fun projects that you worked on out of those? And then yeah, we'll touch on the rap ones later because I really enjoyed
Yeah,
those too.
yeah. So there's 2 ways that I can answer that. The first answer is I made all of them with different people, different friends. So I I don't want to say too much which one was the most fun, because it's like then three
It's
other
personal.
friends are gonna be like, what the fuck? Like,
Well,
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
let's just stick to
but
drum parts though. Then,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, what were your
Honestly,
favorite drum parts?
they all were like mega fun. There was a couple different approaches, because the one was cool because the guy came up here and we wrote everything together in the room. Like nothing was wrote separate. We just jammed the whole time and would. So that was cool. But then the other one would be like the gentleman lives like an hour and a half away, and he would just send me song demos. I would write drum parts, and he would do like 3 or 4 songs, and then we would get together, do one big practice, and like combine what we did. So it was fun in its own ways. And honestly, I don't look at individual ones as fun. I look at it as the whole process of like playing these different, because I pulled different energy from each one. So I literally took the time to tap into literally different bands, different genres, different everything for each one. So some of them were less fun because I was listening to like music that I don't personally like as much. So like when I would have to tap in and listen to like this, like all this like early pop punk, or like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? All this shit like The Cure and the Smiths. And I don't really listen to that stuff too much, but I still would like do my duty and listen to it. So none was more fun than the other. It's literally just a question of talking about each one, because each one had its own unique approach, its own influences, its own everything to it.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. Yeah. No, that makes sense. And it's very cool that, I mean, just the ability to collab with kind of all those people as well is just like a whole different aspect of music that is like really cool. I mean, you
Yeah,
running got like you.
it's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and not to talk my own shit, but sometimes I like to talk my own shit, and I like to say like I've always had at least 2 projects like being written in my head at one time. Like when I'm working on this one, there's always like I've never not done it. Like so that's why I got the output, because while some people got the whatever the ability or the whatever to do one at a time, I'm like over here doing 2 that are completely separate energies, but still can do them at the same time, because this day I can tap in over here, this day I'm over here, and I know how to, um, just it is fun though. Because it is, a lot of it is, it just comes down to music study. A lot of people who are good, great, the legends, they'll just say they didn't do anything new. They just took what people did before them and reinterpreted it.
Mhm.
So I'm literally studying like everything I can, and it's fun because now like I'm just over here can have a conversation about every single thing because I just spent time learning about it.
Awesome. Dude, thank you very much for going into that, man. And then, like I said, so then you have, uh, so worked on 2. So Shaw Calhoun, tell us
Yes.
more about him and
Yeah,
his
Shaw
project.
Calhoun. Shout out Shaw. That is kind of like my current, where like I feel I am making the biggest push and impact is me and him. It's a hip hop artist out of Silver Spring, Maryland. I came across him when I first started doing Big Eleanor, and I just went on Bandcamp and just started looking for artists, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like I can't just put out my own shit. I want to get into hip hop. I myself can't do any hip hop thing. So it's like I need to start searching in there. And like within a day, I came across this project because Big Eleanor came out in like January 1st or some shit, and like
Of this year?
of 2021.
Okay,
So
still,
not
so that's pretty recent.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. We're about a year old. Yeah. So we came out the beginning of that year, and he put out a project on Christmas, like that, whatever, like right around that time. So like within a minute, I found his project and was just like, holy shit, like is it gonna be this easy finding underground like hip hop artists? Because like within 3 projects I found like the fucking, who I feel is like this fucking dope ass dude who like no one even knows, like, you know what I mean, like this guy who's like literally like on the same level I am. So I just reached out and I was like, yo, I don't even know what this means, if it means anything, but like I just want to help you. Like I don't even know what it means, but like can we talk, and I can just see what I can do, what you're not able to do, and I can just
Mhm.
like whatever. I don't even give a fuck. Like I just want to see you succeed. I'm a fan. Good job. Let me see what I can help with. And then like a couple months passed, and they finally like hit me back, and we talked. And ever since the first time we had our serious first brainstorming session, which was probably like a year ago today, honestly, we've been just like fucking good friends, crazy brainstorming sessions. Like we released uh up until me and him met, he released 2 projects. Since me and him met, we released 2 projects. We're about to release one on Friday or next Friday, and then we got 2 more in the works. just me and him complement each other in our work ethic. He loves working. He loves being as creative as me. We're able to just explore. He lets me like do my crazy shit and talk my shit. And he's just like this quiet, like humble dude. So it's like we go places like this crazy yin yang. It literally looks like a yin yang sign. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's literally like, you know what I mean? It's like this crazy shit. And we're just, hip hop saves my life every single day. Like I truly believe like hip hop has saved my life. And I'm here to now give back to the hip hop world. And he feels the same way. We're at the same level in our lives. We're about the same age. We're just at the same point in our career. And yeah, we just been working. I talk to him every single day, and he's willing to listen to what I have to say. I listen to everything he has to say, and we do nothing but work together. And yeah, that's that. I feel like that's where like a lot, because like some waves are being made, and I feel like that's where the successes will be made, kind of in the underground hip hop. Like think like, I don't know how familiar you are with like the hip hop world, but I keep related to where it's like, think Freddie Gibbs and his manager Lambo. Like think about that, like those guys, like what they did in an underground world and islanding themselves from like everything else and figuring out how to make their own money, figuring out how to just be their own entity that exists on its own. And we're on the way to doing that. Yeah, Shaw Calhoun's fucking good. He's a good rapper too. Take me out of the equation, the dude can still rap his ass off.
No, that's kick ass.
Awesome. So is the new project going to be released like under his name, like Shaw Calhoun? That's how we'd find it, like on Spotify or wherever.
Yep. So yep, he's Shaw Calhoun under all streaming services. He already got a couple other projects out under Shaw Calhoun. That's the name under everything, all streaming, all like internet things or whatever. Yeah, the dude, I can't say enough good things about the dude. Like to put some light into like how this dude works. Like we recorded 2 5-song EPs in one weekend. Like he came up to he drove the 2 hours, stayed at my house. We went to a studio in Lancaster and we recorded 10 songs in 2 days. And we did 2 different energies on each one. We already put the one out in January, then we're going to put the other one out in a week or 2. And they're like 2 different energies. One's like this like super dusty, extreme drums, like grimy ass boom bap. The other one's like this soulful, give thanks, like different energy. And he recorded them both in the same weekend. So it's like, this dude is an animal. He's a problem. And if you get my brainstorming and my motivation behind it, like it's going to be a problem. Yes.
Shout out to, I just have to say, shout out to Goat Cheese.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the most recent project. The dude don't even fucking like goat cheese or any cheese to be like that. I was like, you can't name this shit goat cheese if you don't even like. Because what if someone comes up and is like, yo, let's have some goat cheese real quick? Like he's gonna be like, nah, I'll fuck with it. And be like, dude, you're a poser. Like
that's my favorite cheese, man. You put goat cheese, honey, and crackers. I am set for.
No, I fuck with that shit too. Shit too.
Yeah,
I had to ask him. Like, I made sure every time he was like, we're gonna call it goat cheese. I was like, all right, are you sure you don't like goat cheese? He's like, yeah. Like, all right,
try it again.
I'm like, yo, are you sure?
Try it again. It's like the scene from The Grinch where they're just putting everything in his mouth.
Yeah.
Try it again.
It's just like goat cheese that, goat cheese that, goat cheese that. Yeah, dude, don't even like goat cheese. Don't tell anyone because I don't want him to get exposed.
We'll bleep this out, maybe.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I just now put it together. Southeast Pennsylvania. And for whatever reason in my mind, I was thinking Southwest. That's why I was like, oh, are you out in a mountainy area?
No,
Southeast.
No.
So yeah, you're like by Philly, DC.
You
like,
notice how I clarified that too. Like there's South to me, and I feel like there's a lot of people, and again, this no offense to anyone else, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you're from like South, it's like an East Coast thing too. You know, like when you're from the East Coast, you're like, oh, I'm from the East Coast, fuck every other, like da-da-da.
Yes.
Like the same thing. It's like, if you're from Southeastern PA, you're like from Philly, Chester County, like Lancaster County. And then you're just like, yo, fuck the rest of PA because it is just all mountains and bullshit and all that. So it's like, yes, I'm from Southeastern PA. I'm not in the middle of no mountainous town where you don't get like service and shit. Like, nah, like I hold it down in a real fucking area.
Let's go.
Right
I
on.
don't
Right
put
on.
pepperonis on my fucking lasagna like they do in like the mid-state and shit.
Wait, so do you call them Yinzers?
No, that's fucking Pittsburgh. Get that shit out of here.
Well, Pittsburgh's in the
that's
mountains.
That's
Fuck
Western
Pittsburgh.
PA. Nah, that's just what Western PA people call people. Like that's like a Western PA slang term. It's like
Okay.
yinzer and yins and shit. Yeah, I don't fuck with that shit. No.
Well, we say that in Ohio to like make fun of people from
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Well, all right. Well, cool. Now we're on the same page. Nah, I am not no yinzer. Like, don't get it twisted.
I meant it like, do you say it as like a derogatory term towards Western PA too?
Yes and no. I know what you mean when you say that. Yeah. I
We
know
just hate
exactly.
we just fucking hate the Steelers. They've
Yeah, that's
tortured me
really
my
what it
whole
comes
life.
down to.
Pittsburgh,
The
that's it.
Steelers, I don't like the fucking Steelers either, and I'm not even in like a conference division. Don't even affect me in any way, shape, or form. And I'm like, because the reason I don't like the Steelers is because like there's motherfuckers in Eastern PA and Southeastern PA in this area that are like Steelers country. Like, no, nah, no. This is fucking Eagles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is Eagles. We're an hour from Philly. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, like, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Steelers either. Like, don't worry. They're gonna be shitty for the next like 5 years. Don't worry.
Oh, I hope. They've
hope you're
tortured
right.
us. They've
Wait,
tortured
are y'all
us.
Browns fans though?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah.
Dogs.
Get the fuck out of here. Get that shit the fuck out of here. I got nothing to say then.
Even though I live in Toledo now, I was born and raised in Cleveland, so I'm like Cleveland everything.
Nah, that's fine. I got you, I guess. Like, that's cool.
We ride. Dude, speaking of riding, okay, wait, so time out. We've talked about Bill Eleanor Records, the music side of things. We're gonna need to break down the other side of things, the skateboards. I need to know more how this got involved.
Yeah. Skateboarding culture. I've skateboarded my whole life. I'm not no like pro, you know what I mean? But I can ride a skateboard. I honestly, skateboarding to me is the most fun activity I've ever done in my life. Like, when I've had the most joy skateboarding, it is the most joy I've ever had, like, doing anything else. Like, obviously, unless you start breaking down like emotional things, like I want my wife to get weird about that answer. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, so it's like, I'm not just like here for music. I'm here as like, my main goal is to push brainstorming as far as it can go. Like, I'm not here just to do music. I'm here to push the idea of just quote unquote ideas as far as they can go. So yeah, I just wanted to design skateboards and fucking put out skateboards because like there's not many people kind of doing it in this area. It's like one of the things where it's like, especially in like the hip hop scene, like you don't bring skateboarding hip hop, it crosses every now and then, but like you know what I mean, it's gonna be like a mainstay where it's like, you know what I mean, we're gonna have like, so skateboarding, go skateboard. Basically.
So do you make them? Like, do you
I don't physically make them. I do outsource them to a trusted company, but I like, you know, I design them or whatever, and I like do all the finalization, but I do send that out and then I just get shipped in like a box of skateboards.
No, but the designing part is freaking cool as hell.
That's
like
the creation.
Obviously that's the whole thing, because like the guy who physically makes it is just as important, but it's cool. I still got some left over. The first one, thank a first grade teacher. I like to talk about my first deck I put out because that one's important to me. That's what it says on it. That's what it's about. My mom's a first grade teacher, so I just wanted to like basically weirdly tie these two worlds like together as like, so it's like, you know what I mean, you take the first board release and you use it to like thank a first grade teacher. It's like, you know what I mean, people are just like, so it's that was the first board, and then the second one just got the logo. I'm working on the third board with there's a local company that puts on events around here called Skate Wagon, and me and him are working together, and we're about to put out a board within a month. We're putting out a new board, so a couple skateboards out. I don't physically make them, I design them, and then I hope that kids skateboard them. I don't know. Skateboards are cool though. It's like, you know what I mean, like it, like as a piece of art, like hanging on a wall, or just like to have skateboards are cool. Like they're just cool. They never go out of style. Like it's not like no fucking rollerblade. I'm not like making rollerblades or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Right on. Do you have a website like where people can go and buy them from? Or?
Yeah. Right now it's like if you know word of mouth, hand, um, things like that. I'm a firm believer of, and this is where the like dusty, scrappy mindset gets me in trouble, is I'm a firm believer of if you want something, you'll get it. So if somebody really wanted it, they would, like, it's not hard to contact somebody, like, hit me up on this, hit me up on that, find a way to hit me up, find a way of someone who, like, you know what I mean, if you really wanted one you would get one. So there's no website. Find
Okay.
me, I literally have them all sitting behind me, so like if you want one, find me and I will hand you one.
Dude,
Right on.
when Club just asked you that and you started off with I thought that was going to be the name of your website, like Danny
No,
NoNo, like
nah.
.com skates. Like
No, even no, nope. No website, nothing. Just kind of like find me on the streets and we'll exchange. Be like
well,
a weird drug deal with like a skateboard and money like on the corner.
if you do end up making one, it should be if skates, or if
Yeah,
boards or
like-
something. .com. That's awesome. Well, hell yeah. Do you have any other so you mentioned that you'll be putting out uh a new project with Shaw, and then you obviously just mentioned the boards. Do you have any other big plans in your mind right now for 2022?
yeah. So this Saturday, this weekend, and I don't know when this podcast is going to come out, so maybe this will be afterwards and whatever. Shout out future self, blah blah blah. This weekend, we're gonna release the merch bundle and announce Shaw's new project. So no one really knows when that's coming out yet. So that's getting announced this weekend. Next weekend, we drop the project. Um, 2 weekends from that, we're dropping the next skateboard deck with Skate Wagon. 2 weekends after that, me and Shaw are going to the studio to start recording the next project called Fly Langston. Me and Advocat, we're gonna put out there's gonna be a shirt or some form of merch within the next month as well. So there's gonna be 3 forms of merch coming out in the next month. At least 2 new Shaw projects by the end of the year. And honestly, you might not see too much more than that, but that is because a lot will be happening behind the scenes, where it's a lot of like solidifying and trying to make like, get distribution deals, try to connect with different websites to hopefully get like merchandise deals and have someone else distribute, vinyl and stuff like that. But in the meantime, me and Shaw, we're going to put out at least 2 more projects. We got mad merch coming up and my brain don't stop working. So that literally puts me like 2 months into the future. And after that, who knows what the fuck I'll think of by then. So
right
I
on.
don't know what we're going to do by the end of the year, but in the next 2 months, we got all that lined up. I don't want to get more than that because I can't. 2 months is a lot right now.
Yeah.
That was a lot for 2 months.
Honestly, what you described sounds like a lot because, like, Spruce and I have both made albums at various points in our lives before. So, like, I get it. Like, there's a ton of work that goes into it, and you're talking about like all these different projects. So, like, say no more. Like, that's a very busy year you got
My
coming
mind
up.
don't turn off. And just again, just to say, like, I got a full-time job. Like this ain't a job. This don't pay yet. Like I'm not like breaking the bank off this shit yet. Like I don't even know if I'll ever fucking, if I break even, I'm successful. That's how I feel. So it's like, dude, this is like on part-time mindset. B, just wait till it's on full-time mindset if it ever is, because like then it's a fucking wrap because it's already a takeover and I'm only doing it on a couple hours a day. So
Dude,
yeah,
you're speaking our language. We both have day jobs, like same deal. Like we would love if like somehow this could be our full time, like we're putting like 10 to 12 hours a day at this, but like we all got houses we got to pay for, so is what it is.
Yeah. And that, I mean, it keeps, I don't want to ever get rid of my day job because that is fulfilling. I like what I do.
Yeah, I love
blah,
my
blah,
day
blah,
job
but,
too.
yeah, but that I feel like I'm just gonna be making double income when it comes to getting this going, because we're gonna get this established on the music side, and I'm gonna show people another way to independently make money.
Right on.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. Like I love that hustle, that like that confidence of like not when or like not if when.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just gotta show up every day, you know what I mean? And yeah, uh, yes.
You got to show up
That,
every day, but like you also have to take those first steps, like reaching
yeah,
out to Shaw, reaching out to us to get
Yep,
on here.
yep,
Like it's incredible how the smallest thing can just lead you somewhere.
exactly. Just asking. People are afraid to like literally just asking. Like, you know what I mean? Like people assume people can read minds. People assume like, you know what I mean? Like you guys would have never known I existed. You guys would have never, you know what I mean? Not because of any reason. You guys might not have never reached out, not because you, even if you knew I exist, not because you didn't want to, but just, you know what I mean? Like it just
Yeah.
take, yeah, show up and take the initiative, people. It's not fucking hard.
yeah. No, I feel like that's why so many people don't get something that they want to do started. They're afraid that like, oh, like it's not going to be this massive success right away
Mhm.
or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, it probably won't. Like you got to stay at it for years.
It's fun. I love that. I love being on the like. I always like. I exist the best in this like scrappy environment. Like people use the word scrappy and dusty as insults. Like, yo, throw
Oh,
that
I
at me. Like
love
that.
it.
Yeah,
I'm just
throw
a
that at
scrapping
me.
boy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, throw that shit at me. I'm a dirty boy. Like,
I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Well, damn man. Like it's great again, like we've talked about just that energy and stuff. I cannot wait to see like we're gonna touch base with you probably towards the end of summer, have you back on. And
mm,
I cannot wait to just hear what you've accomplished and what's in the works at that time because
yeah.
I can't even imagine with this kind of energy where you're gonna be
Dude,
rolling, man.
I appreciate you taking kind to my energy. Some people get turned off when I come on full steam, but I appreciate you understanding my intent because yeah, this is all love and just all, you know, just reflecting the influences and the people who gave me the energy and the love up to this point. It's just basically me reflecting that back out to the world. So I appreciate you giving me the space for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I guess another whole aspect we haven't gotten into yet is like live music. So like have
Yeah.
you been doing any playing out or any live shows recently or got any
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
up?
None. I played a show a month or two ago. Nothing too crazy. I'm working with Shaw to get him up and moving. Because doing like tours or playing shows as like a manager, as just a guy who drives, sounds so much fun than the guy who has to bring his fucking drum set and unload it, load it back up and shit. So like,
I'm a drummer too, so I know all about
yeah,
that.
like
And
yeah, I
nobody
mean.
wants to help you.
You know what I mean? They'll ask, and then all of a sudden, when you're like, "Yeah, you can help," like they're nowhere to be fucking found.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
oh, dude, you need help with those toms? Yeah, man, sure. Turn around, toms are still right next to your car.
um, so yeah, I'm gonna work with him and get live. So nothing too much at the beginning of this year, but I think kind of like the second half of the year might be a lot of like hip hop shows, and you'll probably just catch me at hip hop shows. And uh, I don't like booking and doing like, you know, annoying shows. So like, you know, what I mean, catch me in like shoe stores, and catch me in like record stores, and catch me in like skate parks and shit like that. So like, yeah, right now the goal is to get Shaw as live as we can get and hit places like that. So nothing so far. I think come next month, lot of rap shows will be had.
Beautiful.
Right on.
And it's a shame because I love performing as a drummer. It's one of my favorite, you know, one of my favorite things. I love watching people who love to perform. Like you look at the people like the fucking Keith Moons and like the Dave Grohls and the people who like perform so intensely that like their shit is broken by the end of the set. I love getting that energy out, but uh unfortunately to the world, I am going to end my career in front of the drum set.
It's fortunate. I'm telling you, it's fortunate because you
Ah,
always have it there to go back to,
yep.
but you're taking that next step.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. But yeah, I mean, who's your favorite drummer? Who do you look at then for live inspiration? If you're saying you play the drums or whatever, like not who your favorite drummers, but who is your favorite drummer to watch live?
Oh man, so it's close. So Mike Mangini from Dream Theater, he was pretty insane live.
The second drummer.
Carter Buford, yeah. I mean, Portnoy was awesome too, but I've only seen them once, and it was with
Yeah.
Mangini. Carter Buford for Dave Matthews
Yo,
Band,
yo,
he's
I don't fuck with
insane.
Dave Matthews Band like that, but yo, he is a fucking beast.
Oh,
Yo, he's
absolutely.
so good. Yo, I'll go on YouTube and watch like drum videos of him fucking playing. Like, yeah, that dude is. That's a good answer.
I think my favorite though, and I actually saw her just this past weekend, just completely blew my mind because she's playing jazz drumming on a rock kit. Cindy Blackman Santana. She's Carlos Santana's wife.
Okay,
Joined the band like I want to say like around 2004, 2005. They
and she's
got married in
filthy.
2010.
Yeah.
She is unbelievably good. Like
Word. Okay. Word.
and it's crazy. Like she's just playing like jazz style drumming on a rock kit setup and just absolutely just tore the thing apart. Like it was
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Dope.
So
I
yeah,
thought
I'd
this.
say those three were
Yeah.
like in a tier on their own, just compared to other drummers I've seen live.
Yeah. And I guess recent now because I like I was saying I'm like more of an energy and a power and all that more than just like straight up finesse. I forget his name or whatever, but when I saw the Idols drummer, like he holds it down so fucking well with so much fucking power and energy that yeah, I like what he does. I like what he does. He doesn't like, you know what I mean? He's not like no over finesse or nothing like that, but just like right drums at the right time and just crazy energy. I don't know if y'all fuck with the Idols like that, but that's one of the best bands going right now.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
no, I'm gonna for sure check them out. I'll be honest, I'm not like too familiar with them, but
yeah,
I mean you're telling me like power drumming, like I'm in.
yeah, it's not like power because they're more of like a punk band or whatever, but it's just like I said, it's like that's just straightforward. Like you know what I mean? If you're playing punk energetic music live, like you gotta be able to just consistently play and hit the drums and yeah, I think he's got it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, punk style drumming is very hard. I mean, just because you have to like it's physically taxing. You
Mm-hmm.
have to have like strong forearms. You have to have strong legs and like have all those twitch muscles
Yep.
developed. It's like exercise.
It is. It is. Yeah, because you'll watch like fucking Marky Ramone or like old Ramones footage, and you wouldn't think like the Ramones would be like a difficult thing to play or whatever, but when you're playing these like crazy minute and a half bursts of energy for a half hour straight, it's crazy to
Oh
watch.
yeah.
Like just literally just like so consistent. It's crazy.
My first concert ever was the venue doesn't even exist now because it's been condemned, but it was called Headliners in a grungy ass area in Toledo. And it was the Misfits.
Oh, what
Um,
what year or whatever? When was that?
this would have been 2009, I think.
Ooh,
2009 or 2010. And I
yeah.
wasn't too familiar with them. Just one of my buddies. It
Okay.
was a big card, like probably like six bands, and his band was the very first one. So I wanted to come out support him. And it was like, oh, this huge band that like I've never really heard of, but like is in the similar genre to other artists I like is playing. Like, I'll go check it out.
Yeah. Yo, that's crazy. Let me tell this story. This is probably the first time this is like on interview status. In 2008 or 2009 or right around that same time when I was like
Yeah.
doing my band shit in high, like I was in high school then or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the Misfits played at a place in Allentown around here called the Crack Rock, which also no longer exists. We first band on the bill, big bill, fucking went there, blah blah blah. We ended up like we were there like mad early and shit. We ended up like meeting them, like chilling with them, seeing them like just fucking randomly, like because it was like mad early. So they were just like eating at some cafe. We just like were like, oh, is that you guys? And they're like, yeah, it's us. And we're like, oh shit, da da da. Like talk to them. And throughout the evening, the guy who plays the guitar, Des Sedina, he was the guitarist at that moment in time. He's not no longer anymore. He was the original guitarist for Minor Threat. So like he's like this like punk legend. Somehow like misheard my name, and when we introduced ourselves and like throughout the night like heard and whatever, and on stage even dedicated a song to Danny NoNo. So that was where the nickname Danny NoNo came from, was from Des Sedina, the Misfits in
That's
the 2008
incredible.
show. So that's where that came from. Like he was on stage like, this song goes out to Danny NoNo, and then they played Six Pack by Black Flag or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where the name came from. That's like the OG story of like the name Danny NoNo from Des Sedina, not Minor Threat, my bad. He was like one of the original members of Black Flag, like legendary hardcore band. He was playing for the Misfits at that time, and met him at some cafe, and we just kept bumping into each other for the next 6 hours at the venue. And then when they played, like, this song goes out to Danny NoNo, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? And like ever since then, that's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I was given the right into this world because my name literally comes from like punk legend. You know what I mean? So that's cool. That's so crazy that you started going into that, because I was like, were you at the same, like, are you my friend? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally like the same shit. Like,
it was honestly probably the same tour. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was. I know mine was in 2008 because when I played, this shit's crazy too, because when I played, it was the same exact night the Phillies won the World Series.
Okay.
Same night, like we played, watched the Phillies won the World Series, and then watched the Misfits play and like all that crazy shit. It was like one of the greatest nights of my life. Like, it was crazy.
I think that probably would have been the same year, because I remember, well, wait, did the Phillies win back-to-back back
No,
then?
they went to back-to-back. They lost. They won in 2008 against the Rays, and then lost in 2009 against the Yankees.
Okay, because I remember. Yeah, I want to say it was the same year.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I wouldn't see why not. And like, obviously the Misfits at that time, it wasn't like original lineup and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's crazy that like, yeah, that's wild. You just like pulled that out. Yeah, you just literally pulled that. Yeah, that's like literally the original story and the origination of Danny NoNo, for real.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, because we ask every guest this. So I know you said you're not planning on doing too much live now, but so back then, like go back to your high school days or even shortly after, when you are playing out a lot, what is the most bizarre thing that you ever saw when playing live? Like, whether it's from like one of your bandmates, the audience, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So this is what popped in my head, just because it did. It wasn't me specifically, but it was someone who I played a lot of music and shows with. They were just in a different band at the time, but still kind of same umbrella of people. So this is what popped in my head. Like, he happened to be playing on stage, and he was in like whitey tighties. That's what he was like choosing to play with, and just some random, and like, I mind you, like, we're talking like 18, like we're talking like high school, like the same kind of time frame, like 17, 18 years old. And this like crazy drunk chick just like comes up on stage, like crawling, and like just cups his area. There's like literally a picture of her just like, he's like sitting there like playing, and she's just like holding, and like it's such a bizarre fucking image. And like, it's just like they're playing some like crazy dive bar or some shit. This chick's like clearly like this like 30, 40-year-old chick. Yeah, dude, like I'm telling you, like she's like on all fours too. Because he's like down like tuning or some shit. So like he's down. So she's like on all fucking fours, just like, and like the picture's so funny because like there's no context to it. So it's just like,
holy shit. we might have to see that. That is unreal.
That's incredible that somebody thought to snag a picture.
Dude, I'll have to see if I can find it. It's probably on dude's Facebook or whatever. I'll definitely have to fucking find it, because that picture is so fucking funny. So that wasn't specifically me, but that jumped in my head first thing.
That's a winner. That's a winner. Beautiful. Well, fuck, man. We got we learned the legend of Danny NoNo.
Dude, that's all, you heard it here first. Honestly, I fully believe that is the first time that came out in an interview way. Yeah, obviously people around here know, so I never really think about talking about it. But like now, yeah.
The Stallions breaking. Well, man, I very much appreciate, again, you just taking the time, again, like we said, coming out, speaking about your craft, speaking out everything you've done and are going to do. And yeah, we will definitely, I don't know, staying connected with you, man. We'll definitely be talking about Shaw's record or like your guys' new projects. We'll post that all over our story, let our people know, because it needs to be spread it west.
I appreciate that. Nah, like I said, like no one ever out thanks me, so don't ever sit here and thank me, because I'm just gonna hit you with the even harder thank you. So like we're literally just gonna go back and forth thanking each other until you like concede to my thanks. So thank you.
Well, shit, man, that was a great sit down. I'll tell you, we close out every interview with a nice little neigh, because we are true stallions here today.
Oh, shit.
But let's do a little sign out before we get going. My name is Spruce.
I'm Clep.
Danny NoNo, Big Eleanor Records.
Yeah.
And this has been another episode of Vinyl Stallions.